Dr. Saman, can you hear me?
Digital Dentistry Virtual Summit. We will begin this auspicious event with the recitation of the Holy Quran, followed by the national anthem as a humble tribute to our faith and our beloved homeland.
من الشيطان الرجيم الحمد لله رب العالمين
Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to everyone. Pakistan Research Institute of Dental Education, PRIDE, is a dynamic and visionary organization committed to advancing research and dental education across Pakistan. We are happy to announce that PRIDE is officially registered as a private institute under the Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan (SECP), the regulatory authority responsible for overseeing corporate and institutional registration in the country, and officially renamed as PRIDE Center of Research and Learning Private Limited. This registration affirms Pride's legal standing and credibility as a recognized educational entity, allowing it to operate in accordance with national laws and regulations. Being SECP registered also reflects Pride's commitment to transparency, accountability, and professional standards in its educational and organizational practices. I am Dr. Saman Sultan, serving as the Digital Engagement Director at Pride. With a background in dental surgery and academic teaching, I'm committed to supporting initiatives that elevate the standards of dental education and public health awareness. With the mission to empower the next generation of dental professionals, Pride offers a platform where students, researchers, and educators can collaborate, innovate, and grow. As a hub for academic excellence, Pride has successfully conducted a wide range of impactful virtual events, including summits, webinars, and conferences that bring together leading experts and passionate learners from across the country. Our career focused webinars have provided participants with valuable insights, while our free summer internship program has given aspiring researchers hands on experience in real world projects, equipping them with skills to make meaningful contributions to the field. Pride is proudly led by a team of passionate directors and qualified members who voluntarily contribute their time and expertise to promote academic excellence and research advancement across country. Dr. Mohammad Farooq, the founder and director of Pride, is a passionate educationist and visionary leader dedicated to advancing the dental education and research in Pakistan. Through Pride platform, he is currently supervising over 25 research proposals, fostering a strong culture of inquiry, innovation, and evidence-based learning among young dental professionals. His contributions to dental literature include 9 nationally published research papers, along with 2 notable international publications titled Non-Invasive Treatment of Early Childhood Caries and The Dental Frontline Identifying Gastrointestinal Pathologies Through Oral Symptoms. Dr. Farooq's leadership, commitment, and forward-thinking vision continue to inspire the dental community, positioning him as a driving force behind the transformation and growth of dental education and research nationwide. Talking about Digital Dentistry Virtual Summit tonight, as the world embraces the rapid evolution of technology, dentistry is no exception. The integration of digital tools into dental practice has given rise to a transformative era known as digital dentistry. This innovative field refers to the use of advanced digital technologies to carry out dental procedures more accurately, efficiently, and comfortably than ever before. Dentistry is evolving alongside it, ushering in a new era known as digital dentistry. This innovative field integrates advanced technologies into dental practice to enhance precision, efficiency, and patient outcomes. From intraoral scanners, CAD/CAM systems, and 3D printing to digital radiography, CBCT, and AI-driven diagnostics, digital dentistry is transforming the way dental professionals diagnose, plan, and deliver dental care. These technologies not only streamline clinical workflows but also offer patients more comfortable, accurate, and faster treatment experiences. As the demand for precision and efficiency dental care continues to rise, digital dentistry is becoming essential for modern day dental practice. In recognition of this shift and its impact on the future of oral healthcare, Pride is proud to host this insightful Digital Dentistry Virtual Summit. This event is designed to bring together dental professionals, educators, and students for a collaborative exchange of ideas, experiences, and advancement in the field. Tonight, we are honored to welcome a distinguished lineup of both national and international speakers who are at the forefront of digital innovation in dentistry. Their expertise, diverse perspectives, and practical insights will guide us through the current landscape of digital dentistry and what lies ahead. Through this virtual summit, Pride aims to promote excellence in dental education, encourage global collaboration, and equip professionals with the knowledge and tools to thrive in a digital integrated dental environment. I would like to invite our first speaker. Please welcome, sir, Dr. Fahad.
Thank you very much. It is indeed a pleasure. I hope I'm audible. Dr. Saman, am I audible?
Absolutely, sir. Just a
Yes, sir.
second. We will give a bit of your interview and then you can start. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Dr. Tuba Usman, and welcome to the Digital Dentistry Summit. I'm truly honored to introduce you to Dr. Fahad Umar, who is Associate Professor of Operative Dentistry and Endodontics at Aga Khan University. Dr. Fahad holds a BDS, FCPS, and is a Fellow of International Congress Oral Implantologist and a Fellow of the Higher Education Academy, UK. He brings with him rich blend of clinical excellence and academic expertise with a special focus on restorative dentistry, microscopic endodontics, and modern dental education. Dr. Fahad, please you can proceed. Sir, we cannot hear you. I think you're muted.
Thank you very much. The host was not allowing me to unmute myself, but now it's sorted. I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen now. Okay. And can you please let me know if you're able to see my screen as a full?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
It's visible as a full screen now.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. And then I'm gonna say this again. Stuff that's on my screen. All right. So I'm just gonna double check if you are able to see the full screen as a presenter view or as a screen view and not a presenter view. Can you please let me know if you're seeing the whole screen and not the presenter view? And if I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you're completely
Okay.
audible and the screen is visible.
Thank you very much. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizing committee of the Digital Dentistry Virtual Summit for inviting me today. And so very pleased to share my passion with you, which is leveraging artificial intelligence into oral healthcare. With that said, I would also like to um, start with my disclosure slide. These are some of the fundings or the funding agencies who help me in my work and support the work that we do. And without their support, we are not able to leverage AI models into oral health domains. And here's a little bit about myself in terms of my professional affiliations. Some of them have already been elaborated upon by the host. Um, I've been associated with the Aachen University Hospital for now almost 20 years. And here I serve as a clinician and a researcher as well as an academician. And as you can see with my professional affiliations, I'm stretched very thin, but I've had a very fulfilling career to date. And when we talk about AI, and for the benefit of the listeners, in my perspective, there are different kinds of definitions that are being thrown around describing different types of artificial intelligence. But for the benefit of usability, I like to classify artificial intelligence into two main domains, which is discriminative artificial intelligence as well as generative artificial intelligence. So, what does that mean? So discriminative artificial intelligence is actually any kind of artificial intelligence that looks at things and makes a classification whether, for example, in our scenario in healthcare, it's disease or non-disease. So there are different kinds of models which are available to us. Some which we are aware of, may have heard of them as machine learning and deep learning tools. Likewise, generative artificial intelligence is a specialized type of artificial intelligence that looks at data, and based out of that data, it learns and studies that data and generates new data points from that specific data. And the most common generative artificial intelligence that we are aware of are the language models such as ChatGPT. But there are other generative AI models as well in healthcare, which are utilized in different aspects and different domains of healthcare. And in my presentation, we'll be talking a little bit more about them as well as the discriminative AI that we use in oral health. With that said, November 2022 marked a very interesting moment in human history. This is when ChatGPT was actually released and the true potential of artificial intelligence was actually realized. This has been heralded as the fifth industrial revolution that's coming our way. And it can also be regarded as a disruptive technology. So basically, a disruptive technology is any kind of technology that changes how humans behave and people think or business operate. And we can see that, for example, ChatGPT has in fact revolutionized how we work, how we think about things, and how we conduct our everyday tasks. Likewise, artificial intelligence generally is going to change how people are going to be working and thinking about working and deciding upon, how they'll be carrying on in their lives. So my first taste of AI actually came 2 years before ChatGPT was actually released, maybe 3 years. This was the time of COVID-19, and I started having a little bit more time to myself because of the lockdown, and started reading a little bit of literature. And during that time, I came across a couple of papers which were talking about artificial intelligence. And I thought, this is very, very interesting. Maybe that's something that I should also learn a little bit more about. So this is how we started. And our first paper was a systematic review that we did on artificial intelligence, which piqued our interest. But the concept of AI is even more older than that. Almost 70 years ago, this gentleman known as Paul McCarthy actually introduced the term artificial intelligence in a conference in 1956 at a place known as Dartmouth. So when we look at the history, like I said, in 1956, this concept was, or this framework was first coined. However, when we follow the history, artificial intelligence actually followed areas of renewed interest as well as fledgling interest. These were known as the artificial intelligence winters, in which people would say, okay, artificial intelligence is a concept, but it doesn't really realize its true potential. This was largely because we didn't have access to large data sets that like we have today, such as ImageNet or Microsoft Cocoa. And we all know that artificial intelligence is data intensive. The more data you give it, the better outcomes you get out of the artificial intelligence models. So now we have access to billions and millions of images which are already annotated and can be leveraged to train AI-based models. Likewise, this large amounts of data could not be processed with the kind of computers that were available at that point in time. In the early 2000s, we had access to specialized computerized chip known as graphic processing units. So that also pushed us forward. And then finally, we had access to different kinds of AI training softwares or tools, which made it much more easier for scientists to leverage different kinds of algorithms. So essentially, really, AI-based research became mainstream in the late 2000s. And from my perspective, my research philosophy over the years has changed. I was mainly a clinician researcher, so most of my research was focused around doing research with clinical undertones. But in the past few years, I have realized that if I need to make some kind of an impact, um, I need to make an impact in a way which will serve not only our community but have a global presence. And therefore, I have aligned myself to the Sustainable Development Goals. And for the benefits of the listeners, so in 2015, United Nations came up with these simple concept. They said that there are 17 goals, and as a global community, if we work towards achieving those 17 goals, we will progress as a global community. And therefore, this aligns quite well with our university's goals and vision. Likewise, it has also aligned with the national goals, and therefore it made sense for me to, as a researcher, to also look at an aspect of the sustainable development goal that we can create an impact on. Naturally, as a clinician scientist and an academician, I gravitated towards Sustainable Development Goal number 3 and 4, which is good health and well-being, as well as quality education. And now our progress as a nation towards these Sustainable Development Goal has been slow. Uh, but I truly believe that if we utilize artificial intelligence in a way, um, we may be able to actually leapfrog ourselves forward in trying to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals in at least these two domains. And this is how I've aligned my research. And while doing this research around artificial intelligence and healthcare and education, we were able to publish a lot of papers. But we were not satisfied by just publishing research. We wanted to do something a little bit more impactful. And this brings me to actually the title of our presentation, which was a real life impact of AI. And now I would like you to concentrate on this video. And this video depicts different kinds of artificial intelligence models that we are using as part of our research and as part of our deployments to make some kind of a meaningful contribution. So let me take you to Mithi. Mithi is a region in Sindh, and this is Government Boys High School Mithi, which is a very unique place, especially because this is home to one of the largest AI-based deployment, if not globally, but in our part of the world. Here, we have already screened over 1,750 patients using our developed artificial intelligence models, which look for different kinds of diseases, but especially decay. We all know this as dentists that DMFT index is one of the most basic index that we use in order to identify and study different kinds of oral disease or dental caries, just to find out what the prevalence of dental caries in our community. But from Pakistan perspective, we are not able to do it just because we don't have resources to do it. So this project actually helps us optimize the resources. Likewise, the learnings that we took from the Dental Caries project led us to develop another model which looks for different kinds of OPMDs or oral pre-malignant lesions inside the mouth. While we were in MITI, we realized that there was a lot of disease that got unnoticed and therefore not untreated. So imagine if lady health workers or polio workers have access to these kinds of models in which they can do pictures, the outcome of oral health can improve tremendously. Likewise, we've worked on X-rays over the past 4 years, and we've developed an interesting model known as the OPG Genius. What this does is, the user can upload an OPG X-ray on this interface, and they will get an AI-based output of different kinds of diseases that are there or different kinds of findings that are there in an OPG, and you can also download a diagnostic report. Whilst we were working on X-rays, we also realized that most of the research that were coming our way was looking at X-rays only in a cross-sectional view. And this occurred to me that, most of the diseases that we see are actually temporal. Like, for example, if you see one X-ray, in order to either gauge for disease progression or remission, you need to do follow-up X-rays. And the AI that is being used at this point in time just looks at the X-ray at that cross-sectional view and not able to diagnose disease in a temporal way. So we developed this web-based app which looks for marginal bone loss around implants. And this is decided upon by looking at a series of X-rays. So this is something very, very intuitive that we developed. And while we were working on the computer vision models, ChatGPT came in. And naturally, we had to also try and use language models within the healthcare domain. And the first model that we tried was we wanted to find out if ChatGPT can actually tell the patients about what their oral health needs are in terms of post-operative care. And we thought that the findings of ChatGPT were very positive. Likewise, when we look at dental trauma, we know that most of the dental trauma usually occurs in a setting in which the first responder is not a dentist. And even if they reach an ER, the healthcare providers are not really well versed in how to deal with dental trauma. And this led us to develop a specialized AI bot known as the dental trauma bot, in which we use the power of multimodality. The user can take pictures or put in text input or voice input and figure out what is the best treatment strategy for that particular trauma case. And like I said, I'm also an academician teacher. So we wanted to also utilize language models in learning and teaching. So if anybody knows what a two sigma problem is, so there was this gentleman known as Benjamin Bloom, and he said that if you give personalized teaching to anyone, their output or their results may improve by two standard deviations. What that means is that an average student can become an above average student, or a good student can become a very good student. But however, giving personalized one-on-one tutoring is very, very difficult because of the resource intensive nature of doing that. So for example, in your class, you may have 30 students and only one teacher. With the advent of language models, we can upset that quantum and see if these language models can actually act as personalized tutor. And this is what we did. We created a web-based interface in which our residents had access to these language models, which were specialized into training them and teaching them about research. And we had really good positive findings with that. And with all these different models that we've used, we've barely scratched the surface of what AI is able to truly achieve. In the coming years, we want to work with other healthcare experts so that we can make a meaningful impact towards our communities for the betterment of our children. And this leads me to a very interesting lead in. Once we done all this kind of research, we wanted to make sure that these AI models are also available to the larger communities or the larger population. And therefore, this led us to the development of the Meri Muskan project. Meri Muskan project is a social initiative that we've taken in order to democratize healthcare, make it equitable, accessible, as well as reliable for all users who would like to use the Meri Muskan platform. So the Meri Muskan platform, you can log in using this URL, which is there. The users logs in through either Facebook or their Google account, and they can upload different kinds of videos or pictures, intraoral pictures, and they can receive a free AI-based output as to what their oral healthcare needs are. And based out of those oral healthcare needs, they can also get a diagnostic report, do a comprehensive exam, and then if there is some findings there, they can also make an online consultation for free, in which they can actually complete the loop of treatment, in which they can reach out to dentists for free and then discuss what their treatment needs are. They can also order medication through this platform and discuss different kind of treatment plans. We are very, very happy to have collaborators through which we can offer different kinds of discounts to our users based on X-rays as well as um, procedures in the clinic themselves. So with this massive explosion of different kinds of artificial intelligence models that is there, we have language models, image generators coming up. In every conference that I speak, I am reached out to different kinds of healthcare providers, dentists, etc. And the question that comes up is, will AI replace us? And my answer is quite simple: no. Actually, AI will help augment us into becoming better clinicians, academicians, and researchers. So for academics, we need to understand that we will need to develop the skills of the future related to AI. We will need to develop the basic AI and data literacy. The pedagogy of teaching and learning has to change. We should not simply think that our students need to be just rote learners. We need, and or generators. We need them to become better editors. Likewise, in research, newer domains are coming up, such as ethics in AI. We need people who should be trained in regulatory knowledge, deployment and validation of models. And if academics and research is not for you, as a service provider, you can also understand how integration of AI will take place in real world practices, the effectiveness and efficacy of AI based diagnostics can be researched, and of course biases that are there within the AI and its shortcomings also need to be understood in real world circumstances. So therefore, a lot of new positions or jobs or vocations will be coming up. We just need to be ready. When we look at the landscape of current AI-based research in our part of the world, we notice that only a few studies have actually been published from our part of the world based on data that we had gathered almost 2 years ago. And if you look at Pakistan, you'll notice that only 3 studies were published at that point in time, and 2 of them were from our group, and 1 study was published from AF Armed Forces Institute, but no dentist was involved in it. So therefore, there's a lot of potential to do publication based out of AI. And why should we do publication based out of AI? Because as a as a low income country, we have our unique sets of problems. Our resources are different, our disease prevalence is different. And therefore, if we do this kind of studies, we have the potential to make a global impact and develop new innovative opportunities for us. And here is what a basic AI-based pipeline looks like. We need to develop different kinds of data sets and annotate the different data sets. After we develop and annotate the data set, specialized computer engineers can train deep learning models and also deploy these models. However, the bottleneck is the development of these data set and annotations. And this is where us dentists need to come in and step up. We'll have to develop or curate data sets which are good enough to train these kinds of AI models. And again, there's an area where we can progress and work towards. With that said, I would also like to introduce you to one of our project known as the Afan University Image Dataset. So what we did was we started curating a whole bunch of OPG X-rays. And what we realized was that we needed to have a general dentist look at an OPG just to annotate it for teeth segmentation. And it took them 20 minutes to do it. Then a postgraduate resident would look at it for another 7 minutes, and then a specialist would look at it for 5 minutes. So one OPG before it got into the AI training pipeline, it took 32 minutes of human resource to actually annotate that for it to be ready to train any kind of AI. So certainly, as you can imagine, that this is a very resource intensive task. And based out of the work that we did, we were able to publish another paper in which we released this open source data set, which you can also download, so that most of your time can be spent either training newer models or rather than annotating data sets. Another part that we are trying to do is we're trying to create our own data sets known as synthetic images. So what we then did is we have utilized specialized models known as diffusion models, which actually generate realistic X-rays. And these X-rays can be utilized to do interesting stuff like these can be used to train AI models for edge cases, diseases which are rare. So this is some interesting work that we have done in our lab. With that said, for universities and institutions, it's very, very important that we start thinking about developing center of excellences around these two sustainable development goals that we are interested in as clinicians and researchers. We no longer have to do brick and mortar stuff because most of the world has shifted to online. These GPUs are on the cloud. So what we need to do is we need to invest in the human resource. We need to start developing collaborations and so that we can optimize our resource and attract research and funding, driving our research from our part of the world for. Likewise, there is also a need to develop incubation centers. So these incubation centers, what they'll do is they take the research forward, make that connection between industry and academia, so that new talent is recruited and older talent can also be retained, so that there's some financial gains to be made out of whatever kind of innovations that we are doing. So if I were to start again, my advice for people who want to get into AI-based research is to go into these platforms. These are free. You can use Microsoft Learn to learn about AI and different kinds of basics of AI. You can use Google Colab. Here you can get free GPU usages for trying to figure out and playing around with different kinds of AI models. CVAT is a great annotation tool that can be utilized for annotation of a different kind of images and data, and it is very, very intuitive. Our group also does different kinds of workshops in which we train and do hands-on training for people who are interested in learning more about AI and how you can utilize AI-based models and train AI-based models for basic research. This is our team. So all of this work was not possible with the support of the residents and computer scientists that work alongside me within Khan University in order for me to develop these kind of model. With that said, I would like you guys to use these QR codes to support our work. Our community, the Meri Muskan community, is only just started, and what we're trying to do is we're going to create a social change. We're going to change how people are thinking about oral healthcare, especially. We're coming up with different kind of AI chatbots, which will be in your WhatsApp. Nobody has to download an app anymore. Everything will be free. People can go into these platforms, utilize the chatbot, understand their treatment needs, go onto the website, get treatment done before it get bad or worse for them, so that outcomes get better and people get better quality work or value service. So I would encourage you to use these QR codes, join our WhatsApp communities, join our Facebook group. This will help us grow further with your support. Thank you very much for your time. And hey, you can reach out to me on this email. I'm not sure if there is time to ask questions, but I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Fahad, for such an insightful session. Firstly, congratulations on such big achievement. We are watching the data and insights for Miri Muskan all over the LinkedIn as well. So congratulations for that. And we do have a question in the chat box. Dr. Mohammed Ahmed is saying, what model did you use to identify bone loss in implants? Dr. Mohammed Ahmed Shah is saying, what model did you use to identify bone loss in implants? Okay, I think you were, I think you got muted. Okay, just a second. Doctor,
Yes, thank you very much. This is a great question. And without making it a bit too complex, when we started this project, we immediately realized that this is a very hard project to do. Number one problem that we faced, and you as dentists would know this, that when we look at different kinds of X-ray at different time points, what happens is we get different kinds of errors in those X-rays. For example, you'd get angulation errors and you get magnification errors. So the first thing that we wanted to sort out was that we wanted to standardize these X-rays. So actually, this whole web app has 5 different kinds of AI models which do different kinds of things in cohesion. Uh, but very simply put, these are all CNN based models, which is known as a convolutional neural network. These are very, very powerful models which look at images and are able to identify patterns in images. And based out of those patterns in images, make different kinds of diagnosis. I hope that answers your question, but it's a complex question to answer for that particular use case.
Mr. Naveed is saying Meri Muskan is mobile application or is a web design?
At this point in time, Meri Muskan is a web-based application. I will encourage you to go ahead and try use that. And all actually, the main use case for the Meri Muskan project is normal patients trying to figure out their oral health needs. But as dentists, we'd like to hear from you if you've used it. How did you feel about it? What kinds of outcome did you get from the AI as well as the other aspects which are non-AI based over there? But
Absolutely.
yes, it's a web-based platform right now.
Absolutely, guys, go ahead and give feedback for such an achievement that Dr. Fahad has made. And thank you, sir. The perspectives that you've shared this not only enrich today's conversation, but will certainly it will inspire for future discussions and innovation. Thank you so much for your time and great session, sir.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Amar Ahmad, Marketing Director at Pride, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome our international speaker all the way from Middle East, Dr. Maryam Mustafa, a name that stands at the intersection of science, storytelling, and digital innovation in dentistry. She is a specialist in endodontics and biomimetic dentistry and the visionary founder of Luciet, a bilingual digital dental education platform that makes dental knowledge more accessible and engaging for professionals and patients alike. Dr. Mariam is not only a skilled clinician but also a content creator and public speaker who's deeply passionate about simplifying dental science and transforming patient communication. Through her platform, she has reached thousands worldwide with content that's not only evidence based but also emotionally resonant and visually compelling. She has spoken at multiple global dental events, collaborated with international dental brands, and continues to lead a mission to build trust between patients and professionals, breaking down fear and replacing it with transparency and empathy. Let's give a warm virtual welcome to Dr. Mariam Mustafa.
Thank you so much. This is such a great introduction. And thank you, Pride Research, for giving me this opportunity to be a speaker and to talk about this topic. I'm going to share right now the screen for the PowerPoint.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Can you see me clearly?
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Mariam.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Maria Mustafa, a dentist with passion for dental education and digital transformation. I'm also the founder of Lukiyat, which, like you said, it's a bilingual platform created to make dental education accessible for both the patient and the dentists. Today, we're diving into what digital dentistry really means and how it's shaping our daily practice, and why this change is happening faster than we think. This talk is not going to be just technical, it's about how we use it to restore the trust, reduce fear, and elevate the care for all the patients. The title for today's presentation will be The Shift from Analog to Digital. This isn't the future, this is now. So it's no longer the future anymore. It's the standard nowadays, the digital dentistry, and it's changing everything you thought you knew about dentistry. So I would like again to thank Pride Research for giving me this opportunity. And let's jump into the next presentation. Why digital dentistry now? So dentistry is evolving rapidly, as we all know. By 2025, over 70% of dental practices are expected to adapt to the digital workflow. Why? Why is that? Because we miss something that the AI is giving us, which is the speed, precision, predictability, but even more importantly, how to communicate better with the patients. This shift isn't just about using technology, it's about becoming smarter, safer, and more patient centered. So let's dive into why the patients have changed. Patients nowadays, they Google all their symptoms online. They use AI to know their diagnosis, and they expect the AI to give them the visuals that they need. So we also need to adapt to the patient's changes. The patients now, they are more digitally oriented. So we need to speak their minds because we need to gain their trust and their confidence too. And this is important. The second one, which is the digital tools, will save ton of time for both the clinician and the patient because we offer a faster scans, real-time diagnosis, and a same-day restorations. So this will just save you time for you and of course the patient, and it will just build confidence between both of you. Third point, which is accuracy, is non-negotiable. Because accuracy is non-negotiable, as I said, the cone beam CT and the intraoral scanners and the AI will reduce the human errors and bring precision to a new level. Of course, it's gonna reduce it, but it's not gonna obliterate all the errors. Everything has problems, same as AI, okay? So you need to be understandable. You need to be professional when you're using it, because sometimes it will make errors and you're the person who's gonna correct it. Okay. Fourth point, which is dentistry is becoming predictive. Okay. So why dentistry is becoming predictive? By using AI, we can use it as a diagnostic tool and also as a predictive tool. We can anticipate the outcomes and avoid all the complications, which will make our plan and our diagnosis, our treatment plan smarter for you and for the patient, of course. Okay, you're just gonna calm the patient down, you're gonna give them a heads up to their case and so on. Fifth point is it's no longer the future, it is the standard. And this point is actually important. All the clinics nowadays, clinic type A, B, or C, so all the social levels, everything, they use digital dentistry. And this is important. This is no longer an elite thing. This is no longer the future. It's becoming the standard, and you need to adapt to it, or you will just fall apart. Okay? Sixth point is your patients deserve more. Of course, your patients deserve more care. Your patients deserve visuals and better communication, more personalized plans for them, and so on. So this is actually important about these points. Okay, so let's jump into the key technologies that are shaping modern technology now. Okay, modern dentistry now. What are the key technologies? First of all, we have the intraoral scanners. Intraoral scanners, they have changed how we take impressions, and this is like a huge step up for all dentists. Okay, so instead of using just messy alginate or silicone and the patient just can vomit, or you could calm the patient down and all the patient's face could be messy and so on, now we use intraoral scanners, which will make our life faster, cleaner, and incredibly accurate. Okay, and you're just gonna take the scan within seconds. Unlike the alginate, you have to wait like about 60 seconds, or according to the brand of the alginate, you have to wait for it. And of course, all of this will be in the patient's mouth, so it will bring discomfort to the patient too. Okay, second point, which is the AI. AI, of course, is not here to replace the dentist, and this is an important point. It's here to elevate us. It helps us see what the human eye might miss, or give us, for example, an inconsistency in our diagnosis. Sometimes we get tired. Sometimes we let our personal life get involved in our clinic or so on. So you misdiagnose the patient sometimes, of course. So here comes the AI, which is a tool that can actually give you a efficient and predictive diagnosis for your cases. Okay, so it's just here to help you, elevate you, and change how you preview the patient, and will give you time to even think and to even make a smart treatment plan for the patient. Okay. This, of course, will reduce all the diagnostic errors, it will save a valuable clinical time, and it will provide you a second opinion. Okay? So the third point, which is the cone beam CT. The cone beam CT has become the gold standard in diagnostics, especially in endodontics, implantology, and complex restorative planning. It can actually detect the anatomical features that you cannot preview. For example, like the missed canals or the MB2 or things like that, and many more. because the 2D X-ray are no longer enough for many modern procedures. So the cone beam can actually give you a safer, smarter, and better treatment plan. Then we have the CAD/CAM technology. CAD/CAM technology, it can fabricate restorations all within a single appointment. And this is crazy and impressive for all the patients. They will be like, oh my God, you're giving me the restoration at the same visit rather than just waiting a whole week to give me the crown or to give me the bridge that I need. So this is actually a great point that you could use a same day crown and onlay. It will give you a higher precision and fit and minimal lab errors or delay. Today, patients value time as much as their health. So for them, the time is the most important part. So rather than just visiting the dentist every couple of weeks, you're just gonna get the crown that you want in the same day. And this is actually great. But here comes the dentist. So without the dentist, a great preparation and great finish line and all of these kind of like important stuff, the AI cannot read your scan or anything. So the dentist should understand this point too. So you have to first prepare the tooth in a really great way, and you have to form a finish line or whatever you're gonna do, and then the scan is going to come in. So always think that the AI or the scan or the technology comes a second hand to your precision and to your expertise. Okay. The third point, which is 3D printing in dentistry. And 3D printing is a great part to create splints, to create guides. Of course, I'm talking about the implant guides or even a clear aligners. All of this will give you accuracy, and it will cut the lab work by half the time, half the energy, and everything. It will give you also a full control of the production. And of course, like a lower cost for you and for the lab and for you and for the lab, and will save the time of the patient. Okay. And let's jump into the digital smile design. And digital smile design has changed the game, especially in the veneers. Okay. It will actually help you communicate with the patient using visuals. The patient can see their tooth before and after. And by helping the patient actually be a part of the future or part of the treatment, this will actually make the patient more confident, and maybe you're just going to give them a heads up or the end result before they commit. So they're going to get like a heads up before they commit to the treatment. And this will bring confidence to you and the patient, of course, trust to the patient too. Okay. Now we're gonna now we're gonna go to the digital patient communication tool. Okay. So as we know, the digital tools like the visual explainers, animations, and share-side apps are game changers. Okay, because they increase the treatment acceptance and they reduce the fear of the patient too. Education is power, and today it needs to be digital. It needs to be digital, visual, and simple. A patient who understands is a patient who trusts. That's why it's important for you to make the patient understand what you're saying, visualize what you're trying for him to imagine. All just with a one click on your computer, just a before picture, after picture. You can just show them previous cases that you did, just to help them visualize what they will do too. Okay. This is an example of the traditional impression, and this is how we change everything using the digital impression using the intraoral scanners, of course. This is to the another picture for the cone beam CT. And this is the intraocular scanner. Here we're just gonna scan the prep that you did, and of course, you don't need to scan the patient. Of course, as a clinician, you can just let the assistants help you just scan the patient and everything and do everything, and you're just inside just saving time, or you're just working on another patient. So this will just save a lot of time. And then milling will happen, and then you're gonna print the unit that you want. This is another examples of the digital smile design, the 3D printing of the implant guide, and the milling machines, and so on. Okay, these are some softwares that we could use for the digital smile design. Okay, now let's jump into the how is AI integrated in the clinical dentistry. So how it is integrated in the clinical dentistry? First of all, we need to think about the diagnostic imaging and interpretation. And when I'm talking about the diagnostic imaging and interpretation, I'm talking about the normal X-rays and I'm talking about the cone beam CT. Okay, they help us actually identify the sinus involvement, locate the missed canals, flap, anatomical landmarks, pathologies, highlight the caries or the bone loss, periapical lesions, and pathology, and many more. So we can use some platforms. Of course, I'm here giving you just examples. You can always find more and more, but I'm just telling you the popular softwares that most dentists use, like Pearl or DiagnoGat or Overjet use. Overjet is a new software. It's not new, but it's not as common as, for example, Pearl. This will help us use deep learning to compare thousands of radiographs and deduct any abnormalities with an accuracy of 85 and 95% according to the research done by JADA 2023. And as I said before, nothing is perfect. So even the diagnostic imaging interpretation using AI can give you some errors. So you have to always focus and you have to always correct on the AI and be up to date with them, okay? The second point is caries and periodontal disease detection. It will not only detect the caries and the periodontal problems like the bone level, furcation involvement, and many more. It will also catch the disease at earlier stages, of course, and it will predict what will the caries, for example, when will the caries reach the dentine after, for example, days or weeks and so on. Okay, so this is an important part. And I forgot to tell you that by using the interpretation of the cone beam CT using an AI, this will actually save 20 to 40% of the manual interpretation. So rather than just interpreting the cone beam CT in front of you, you can just upload it on the AI system or software and help the AI interpret what you cannot see, or it can just help you interpret or giving you a second-hand opinion and so on. Okay, how can we use the treatment plan and simulation to the patients? For example, it will give you a predictive treatment plan, like I said before. It will help you identify the caries progression. For example, it can help you in the orthodontic treatment as an auto-generated setup, or the tooth movement occlusal analysis, and so on. Okay, this will actually offer the patient a visual clarity. Okay, which will make the planning faster, clearer, and more accepted. And this part is more important. Nowadays, 90% of the patients, they need to see visuals in front of them for them to be able to be convinced with the treatment plan and with you specifically. Okay, patient communication and behavior prediction. Okay, so the AI will analyze the patient history. It can actually help tailor the communication, how to communication, and the timing of the patient. Or even can help give you tips and tricks how to communicate to the patient and how to predict the behavior of the patient according to their, for example, anxious behavior or anything. Okay. So, for example, it will increase the trust, it will reduce the cancellation, and it will create a more personalized care. And the patients, their favorite part is when they think, or when they believe, and this is actually true, when you customize a treatment plan specifically for them. And this will give them trust and confidence in you. They're going to be like, yeah, I feel now special. The doctor is specializing a customized treatment plan specifically for me. And they're going to feel like they are cared. They're going to feel like they're in a safe place. And they're going to be even committed more to the treatment. So this is the great part, okay? Now, this is an example of the software, like I said before. This is an example of the Pearl software. This will actually identify the caries extension, whether in the enamel or the dentine, using color coding system, and it will identify the bone level and the bone loss too. So this will help us in different specialties in dentistry all around the world, okay? Why digital communication equal a stronger patient trust? As I said, and as I'm saying throughout this PowerPoint, is that patient trust what they can see, because what they can see, 90% of the patients better understand their conditions when it is visualized. Of course, this is according to a research made in 2023 by the ADA. We can use an intraoral scanner before and after simulations, and animated treatment explainer. This will give the patients clarity, and this will actually make the patient trust you even more, okay? Digital transparency, showing the patient their own X-ray and their own cone beam. This will actually let the patient see their own conditions. And this will eliminate all the doubt and the fear. You can just show transparency between you and the patient. You're just showing them everything that you're going to do on their X-ray, for example. You're going to show them all the treatment options, all the caries, everything, and you're explaining everything on their X-ray. This will give them clarity that you're just as transparent as the X-ray. You're just explaining everything. You don't need to hide anything at all because you're talking with your expertise using the AI system, okay? Third point is a personalized treatment plan through the tech digital tools, and this will allow a more tailored education smile simulations, of course, okay? When the patients feel that the information is made for them, they will feel seen, heard, and respected too. Fourth point, which is what it will reduce the misunderstanding. Why? Because, for example, rather than just using the traditional paper consent form, which is nowadays outdated, we can use a digital communication, an animated consent, a side-by-side visuals, and a multilingual subtitles, and so on. Okay, this will decrease the miscommunication, and you will get a fewer complaints, which in a result will give the patient the trust that they need. Okay. Fifth point is create a two-way communication. So, for example, in the past, the clinic visit was about like a one-way communication. I used to be like talking to the patient and I'm just giving them the treatment option that they need. And this is the best for you. You're just gonna do it. And the patient would be like, okay. They're just not because they don't understand anything that you're saying, anything that you're explaining, of course, by you, because most probably most of the dentists, they use dental terminologies when they're speaking to the patient. So the best part about AI is that the patients can visualize everything that you're saying. So this turned out to be from a one-way communication to a two-way communication, an interactive discussion between you and the patient, because the patient get involved in their treatment plan, which will give them the trust that they need to continue the treatment plan, okay? Sixth point is scientifically proven. Of course, according to the British Dental Journal in 2022, digital visual education increased treatment acceptance by 54% and trust rating by over 30%. So this is all improving to the best. Okay. How is AI improving the diagnostic accuracy? Let's see. Okay, so the AI is improving our diagnostic accuracy. But for example, we're just gonna head up to the first point, which is AI sees what we might miss. What does that mean? It means that AI doesn't get tired, it doesn't blink, and it doesn't skip a lesion because it had like a long day, like us, for example. So because AI trained on thousands of radiographs, AI tools like Pearl, DiagnoCat, can detect caries, bone loss, periapical lesions, even at the earlier stage, okay? And of course, the earlier the detection is, the less invasive the treatment plan will be, and the better outcome. The second point, which is AI reduces human variability. Of course, this happened with most of us that, for example, you interpret the radiograph that's in front of you, and then you ask one of your colleagues to interpret the same X-ray because you're not really, you're just hesitant about a specific point in the X-ray. This colleague, maybe in a percentage of nearly 60%, they're going to interpret a different opinion than you. And this will actually bring us confusion to the interpretation, because two dentists have different opinions about the same X-ray. And this is how AI comes in and changes this, okay? AI will bring a consistent, unbiased second opinion every single time. Every single time, it will give you the same exact opinion that you need from it. According to the JADA 2023, AI tools have shown up to 94% accuracy in detecting interproximal caries, sometimes outperforming experienced clinicians. Okay? Which will result in a more reliable diagnostics across all clinicians in the practice. AI enhances radiograph interpretation. Like I said, it will highlight a specific problem areas, for example, a radiolucent lesion, a vertical bone loss, widened PDL, and so on. So this will actually give you a precise measurements and visual alerts that will guide our eyes to matter. So, for example, they're gonna like I showed you at the Pearl software, it's just gonna highlight the specific parts of the caries. For example, here we can inspect the red caries lesion. It's red because it actually interfered in the dentine. Okay. Here we can see the bone loss. Of course, orange, it's worse than the green, and so on. So it can help you visualize and interpret the X-rays in the screen. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to head up to the AI enables predictive analysis. And what does that mean? It means that the AI will be reactive, predictive, and it can estimate a disease progression, which will suggest a risk level and will help build a smarter treatment plan, of course. Okay. This will result in a better planning, fewer surprises to you and the patient, and a tailored patient care. Okay. So let me just end this slide with just saying that AI isn't here to replace us, of course. It's here to elevate us, to sharpen our vision and elevate our judgment, and protect our patient from the things we can't always see on our own. Of course, AI will increase the transparency between you and the patient. But of course, with your expertise and with the AI technology and the clinicians, technology and educational and knowledgeable mind. Okay, where to begin? So I'm just like saying that you have to use AI, and you have to use software, digital dentistry, and so on. So how can we begin? If you haven't started yet, how can we do this? Okay. So I'm just saying here that you don't need to be perfect to start. It's fine. You can just start, at least start, just to stay relevant. Okay. So the best time to go digital was yesterday, but the second best is now. So it's never too late to start using digital dentistry in your everyday patients and everyday practice. Okay. First of all, you have to choose at least, yani at the beginning, just choose one technology to start with. For example, you can just use the intraoral scanners. Okay. So the intraoral scanners or the diagnostic AI tools, it will let it solve like one problem in your clinic, and this is actually great. So don't try to digitize everything at once. Start with one practical tool that fits your daily flow, and that's it. And this is just a step-by-step training. Okay. Second point is train your team, not just yourself. Of course, you and the clinic colleagues, you guys are all a team. So you have to train them, because as I said before at the beginning of the presentation, that sometimes you're just going to let your assistant scan rather than you. Okay. This will actually save time for you to think and for you to interpret better outcomes for the patient. Okay. Third option is start with the diagnostic power tools. And what do I mean by start with a diagnostic power tools? Diagnostic power tools will actually help you identify the disease and the problems, and will help you get the visual that you want for you and for the patient too. Okay. Now we're just going to head up to the create a digital communication habit by using, of course, an intraoral scanner or digital visual during every consultation. This will show the patients their mouth. You'll use animations, record video consent, of course, by using their consent, obviously. This will actually build an immediate trust and model perception. Okay. Fifth point is, this is just an example for the intraoral scanners. And this is an example for the interpretation of the radiograph. The fifth point is, and it's actually an important point, documenting your journey. So like I did by my brand, which is Lukiyat, it's actually attracting referrals, and it actually inspires other dentists to start too. Always post your progress, share the scanner cases, and talk about challenges. Let it be educational and shareable and inspirational too. Do not just let it be technical and just post your cases and just stop talking about this. No, always record everything, record your step-and-step procedures, record your problems that you face in the everyday clinic, because obviously Not all of our life is perfect, and not every patient you're just gonna give them the perfect precision in their cases. So you have to, as you like post the good stuff, you have to post the bad stuff too, just to inspire the patients that there's always a room for you to learn and for you to educate other patients and to inspire others. Okay. How can we use the AI across all specialties? So whether you're an endodontist or a restorative prosthetic dentist, orthodontist, any specialty that I'm going to talk about right now, AI can help you elevate your expertise and precision with your patient. For example, an endodontics. Endodontics in endo, the future is precision. AI will actually map the root canal system in 3D, predict the canal curvature, and even suggest shaping protocols. Okay. For example, the cone beam CT will become the standard pre-op, obviously, rather than just the 2D X-rays. Okay. Digital microscopes and navigation guided access will reduce the risk of perforation and many more complications that we face in the endodontic treatment. This will actually result in a less retreatment options, a faster diagnosis, and a higher long-term success rates. So if you're a restorative dentist or a protodontics dentist, the perfect word that you have to say to the patient is same day everything. And what does that mean? It means that the digital impression, the AI design softwares and 3D printing will allow us to prep, design, and deliver a crown or veneer all in one visit. But of course, as I said before, your expertise is the important part of the AI. So if I don't have enough clinical experience with the patient or with the prep or with the veneers and so on, the AI cannot interfere at this stage. So with my expertise and with the AI, we can help provide the patient with a proper treatment plan. I cannot work alone and the AI cannot work alone, obviously. So we need each other, okay? Hand by hand. Orthodontics. Orthodontics, it can actually monitor or give you a virtual tooth movement prediction. For example, you can use an AI-driven orthodontic software which will simulate tooth movement in real time. Remote monitoring apps will reduce in-person visits and so on. You can just Google the other software platforms in the orthodontics, but obviously this is not my field. Now we can head up to the periodontics. Periodontics is an important part because most of the patients nowadays, when we find like a lesion inside my mouth or whatever it is, they just take a picture of it and they send it to, for example, ChatGPT or whatever software that the patients use, and then the AI will actually provide them with, for example, you have to do a biopsy, you have to just go to a dentist ASAP, or so on. So the earlier that we know the disease, the best, okay? Because sometimes there are lesions that actually grow silently and then they turn into malignancy. So this one is important. So it will predict the disease progression and the flare-ups. And obviously, by using the minimally invasive lasers, as we know, this actually replaced a lot of scalpel-based surgery in many cases, but not all. Okay? So the early intervention and less invasive treatment, this is the modern world and this is the modern dentistry. So it's no longer the future, it is the standard. Oral surgery and implantology. How can you use AI in the implantology or the oral surgery and so on? We can actually use a custom surgical guides, and temporary prosthesis will be a 3D printed chairside within minutes. So the custom surgical guides of the implantology, this is actually a great thing, but it is not used in all the cases. So you have to be precise when using it, okay? This will give you a higher implant precision, obviously to the cases that is specialized to the guided implant, okay? And it will provide you with less surgical trauma and faster healing and so on. Pediatric dentistry. Pediatric dentistry, it's all about the digital storytelling, videos, VR headsets, and behavior predictive AI, and so on. All of these kind of stuff will reduce the fear and it will increase the cooperation between you and the parent, which is the child, okay? So, for example, you could just use an education apps that will help the parent and the child to understand the prevention, diet, and hygiene, and so on in a cute, visualized, friendly way, child-friendly way, obviously. oral medicine and pathology. Obviously, the earlier the oral cancer is diagnosed, the better. Okay? So dentistry is not just about digital, it's inclusive. It's a world where the dentist is still the heart of care, but powered by precision, guided by data. The AI doesn't have feelings, doesn't have passion about dentistry, but you do. So you can use this with the expertise of the AI and give the patient the treatment that they deserve. These are just some free AI tools that you could just try as a beginner and give it a try. Maybe you can take a screenshot of this or something and you can use it as a beginner and so on. Okay. Thank you so much. And actually, I have just a small word to tell you. We talked about a lot of stuff like scanners, AI, cone beam CT, and predictive tools that are transforming the way we work. But let me just remind you with one thing, okay? These technologies don't replace us. They don't care like we care. And they don't hold a patient's hand or ease their fears or make judgment calls with passion. They're still the mind, you're still the mind and the heart and the soul of your clinic. And they are just the second hand helpers to us, okay? So AI is not the expert you are, but it can be your assistant, your scanner, your second set of eyes, and obviously your time saver. So we can use AI not to replace ourselves, of course, but to free ourselves, to think more, to give us more time, okay, and to even care more about the patient, to do what only a human dentist can do. So the future of dentistry is not cold as you may think or robotic, it's more human than ever. And if we embrace the tools, we become even better clinicians and better communicators. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. And we can connect using these social media platforms. You can contact me and send me any questions to even communicate or collaborate or answer anything that you want to or need to know. Thank you,
Thank you
Pride
so
Research.
much. Thank you so much, Dr. Mariam. Your session was very informative and insightful. We were grateful for your time and commitment. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues and fellow innovators, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Ghazala Naveed, Director at Pride. It is with great honor that we welcome today our visionary leader in digital dentistry, Dr. Halil Karam. With over 16 years of clinical expertise, Dr. Karam has been at the forefront of transforming oral healthcare through digital innovation and artificial intelligence. As the co-founder of MAS Clinic, one of the UAE's premier fully digital dental clinics, Dr. Karam pioneered the integration of country's first AI-based dental radiology system and introduced 3D printing permanent restorations, redefining clinical excellence and patient care standards in the region. His collaboration with global industry leaders, including iTero, Medit, Shining 3D, Heygears, and Sprintray, reflect his dedication to advancing intraoral scanning, CAD/CAM dentistry, and additive manufacturing technologies. As a digital dentistry consultant, speaker, and clinical expert, he has been instrumental in evaluating and implementing cutting-edge digital workflows and artificial intelligence platforms such as Dentribird and Pearl AI. Dr. Karam's clinical interest spans aligner therapy, cosmetic dentistry, and full mouth rehabilitation, where he champions a comprehensive team-based approach. Beyond his clinical practice, he is deeply committed to healthcare business development, mentorship, and guiding the next generation of dental professionals and administrators in embracing digital transformation. An experienced healthcare project manager, digital marketing strategist, and EMR ERP system planner, Dr. Kerr merges clinical insights with business acumen to develop sustainable and scalable healthcare solutions. Dr. Kerm holds a doctorate in digital surgery and a higher diploma in oral implantology, complemented by hundreds of hours in advanced clinical training. Currently, he serves as Medical Center Manager at MAS Medical Center, following a decade of progressive leadership in private healthcare organizations. Today, at the Digital Dentistry Virtual Summit 2025, he brings his vision of accessible, high quality dental care through AI powered, digital first solutions. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Halil Karam.
Assalamu alaikum. Is am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Ghazala, for introducing me. And I think that's too much for myself. And I would like to thank the Dr. Mariam and Dr. Fahad. They have done their efforts. They have covered, I think, everything around digital dentistry. And today, for myself, is my screen shown to you? My
Yes,
presentation is
sir.
clear? Okay,
Sir, you
so I think today, after attending to the two first speakers, I'm inspired that how much the impact already digital dentistry is making. And for myself, being inspired by Pakistan is not the first time. Actually, as you know, I'm from UAE, and that we do have a lot of in common with Pakistan since the early establishment of UAE. But for me, if I go, if and you can see these two influencers, uh, they have influenced me since I'm following them personally as well. One in my in the nature and culture of Pakistan, which I very adore, and the other one in food blogging. And I don't think anyone can argue me that how good is Pakistani food is, or the cuisine how it is. But let's move to what is more important than Pakistan. I think the interesting facts which I got from Pakistan, which really inspired me, it's how big is the digital market already in Pakistan. So 73 million smartphone users, 4 million of them, they are iPhone users. So these numbers or these metrics tells me a lot of Pakistan population, the demographics there. And this metrics tells us where is the direction of Pakistan is going. I think that's a very interesting thing. And all the dentists in this summit supposed to know these things, because Pakistan has a very strong market, which has a huge potential for growth and bridging the gaps in current digital dentistry. So if you go to the dental demographics of Pakistan, Pakistan has a huge number of dentists. This is the, of course, I got all this information by AI. It has over 30,000 dentists. They have more than 43 dental colleges and so many other things. Major cities, which is Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad. I think I have some acquaintance from Karachi, and they told me that the prices in dental care are so variable in Pakistan. You'll have the very cheap, affordable one, and then you have a very expensive one. And I believe digital dentistry, it's more of uh, as in UAE or in the Middle East, we are wealthy countries, and everyone believes that digital dentistry is always for wealthy countries, or the adoption is for uh, the the countries or the practitioners who can afford it. But I believe strongly now digital dentistry, it's more to the developing markets. And why is that for developing markets? This is what we are going to know exactly, starting from these numbers, from these metrics that I found about Pakistan. Pakistan has one of the hugest market of dental manufacturing of instruments. This is one of the biggest market in the world, and I believe none of globally dentists, they haven't used Pakistani instruments. So it tells us a lot that there is a huge driving force, manpower behind dental market in Pakistan. So we need to be fair enough and try to utilize this workforce in Pakistan. And digital dentistry will leverage this potential to the maximum. And to start with digital dentistry, I think we have a bit of confusion in digital dentistry. Being acquainted to many of networks of my friends who are pioneers in digital dentistry practice, or from the companies who I work with closely, the definition of digital dentistry still is a bit vague, but I can summarize it to one word. It's a process. Digital dentistry is a process of virtualizing what we are doing as a dentist. We are all practicing dentistry. We are doing fillings, we drill, we diagnose, we do everything in digital dentistry, in the regular dentistry or the conventional dentistry. But the digital dentistry, it is a process. It is a process of virtualizing what we are doing, and it's getting more and more virtual. And if we try to summarize digital dentistry in steps, I think, or let's say the advantage of practicing such a thing, it does reduce the labor cost. This is is my experience and everyone's experience, and this all backed by scientific evidence. You can see that there will be overall labor reduction. Turnaround time will be much less. We are now seeing 3D printing in 6 and 7 minutes, which is huge compared to what we used to see it a few years back. Chairside stress. Now, there is a mental well-being topic currently being discussed in dentistry, which is related in a way in digital dentistry. And digital dentistry is contributing positively in reducing that stress, which of course all of you is sort of having it if you are either practicing dentistry, or even if you are a student, or even a business owner, because all of you are always constrained with the time. And digital dentistry, I can tell you, it helps a lot and solves a lot of the issues. And one of these issues can be solved, which is highlighted by Dr. Mariam, is delegation. Always delegate your workflow, or your involve your team members in your workflows. So that's a very important thing. And for myself, for the past 4 years, it helped me a lot to reduce the stress on my chairside time. I can be more flexible with my procedures as the process goes to my assistants or my other team members. So the patient experience will be much, much better compared to a single person who's doing the procedure. It will be utilized by different team members. So digital dentistry is an overall tool. You can use it for improving your patient experience, improving your business, and you improve your revenue cycle as well. So marketing and selling tool, it helps a lot in improving your conversion of the patients. So your patients will be more definitive when they are taking the decision of doing certain treatments, or even referring other people, because they will tell the story of how you practice the dentistry different than anywhere else. That's your differentiation. And what I like most of digital dentistry is the flexibility in the process of virtualization. You can do so many things, and I can make it easier to you. Imagine if you take an impression and you pour your cast, and there's an air bubble on your margin. So that will need you to do a full frustration cycle from scratch. So you need to call the patient and everything. But imagine with the digital dentistry, you can see it immediately, and you can correct it only that part. That's the flexibility which we are talking in digital dentistry. And the documentation part is so important in digital dentistry, and much more easier. And this is my assistant helping me to do the capturing of of a scan for a patient. Where I do nothing, I can see another patient at that time or the same time. So this is a very, very important tool for you. You can use it. And I think my inspiration in digital dentistry came from early 20 years back, where I was first acquainted to the PC. That was my first project 24 years back. I was first time when I was acquainted to the PC in my high school time. And since then, I was always in so much in technology. I can call myself a technology geek in that part. And my first intraoral scanner was Medit i500. And this is what I started practicing in 2019. As I told you, I think my main mission here today is to inspire all of you to adopt dentistry as soon as possible, or to be an adopter of digital dentistry starting from today, not from tomorrow, from today. So you can start making a huge change, not only on your practice, even in the people lives who are around you. So my journey started in 2019. It was a bold decision. And I can tell you, these all things were possible only by adopting an intraoral scanner. That's the only or the first tool you need to get it in your set of tools to start practicing a digital dentistry. Now, this one, it's not a face scan. It's not a fancy face scan. It's a regular face scan. You can do it with the palm of your smartphone. Now, after 2019, I have reached to this level of growth, and it was backed by mainly by my reputation in digital dentistry. So you can end up with such a story. And as I told you, I'm growing more and more. And this is not only my growth, and it will continue. So digital dentistry brought me a financial, a career growth, which changed my life and the life of people who are around me. This is how I started digital dentistry. One of the challenges, always everyone is talking about the challenges in digital dentistry, that it has a learning curve. I can tell you now that there is so much optimization happened in the past 5 years that changed this learning from curve to a steep. You don't need much of the time. These are so friendly, or I call them co-pilot mode. All of the digital dentistry softwares or devices, they are in co-pilot mode. So you don't need much to learn. From the first or second use, you can get it and you can start right away practicing with very, very minimum errors. So digital dentistry has other challenges. Yes, they do have the other challenges, which, price. Everyone thinks price is a challenge. Learning curve, which I told you, the learning curves, it's thought to be a challenge, but I don't think it's a challenge. The support and supply chain. I think that's one of the challenges in Pakistan itself, because I did a little bit of research there. There are limited market for digital dentistry, and even the suppliers are not very much distributed due to the demographic in Pakistan itself, the large geographical areas. Selling strategy, and I think that's the focus on revenue cycle. Not everyone thinks that they can sell digital dentistry. If they do an investment, then how we can sell it? That's always the challenge. But I can tell you, you will know that, or what you'll conclude after the end of this lecture, that it's not the truth about digital dentistry. And data management is one of the challenges you'll face it, and it can be managed in different ways there. For me, if we try to divide the digital dentistry, I can divide digital dentistry in 4 main attributes, which will make digesting digital dentistry much easier. Digital dentistry has 3 main attributes, which are capturing, designing, and rendering. As I defined, digital dentistry is a process. So this process starts with capturing, where you capture using different device, different information, and different head and neck structures. Designing is the processing of your data. So you do different processing of your data by utilizing different softwares for different purposes. And rendering, or what you can call it manufacturing, is the physical manufacturing of your designs and the captured data. So if you think of digital dentistry on these three things, capturing, designing, rendering, you will master it in much easier way, and you can digest it and understand it much easier. Understanding different protocols or challenges in each different phases will be easier. As I told you, the systems now are in co-pilot mode. They helps you a lot with decision making, or even going through the workflow of your procedures. Now, capturing, it's the first attribute of digital dentistry, and it's not only the intraoral scanner. It's not your intraoral scanner. It's the only capturing device. Your photos are capturing device. Your smartphones are capturing device. Your X-rays, 2D and 3D, these are all your capturing devices. You do have also dynamic capturing devices now available in the market, which will help you more in processing that data and creating and rendering, manufacturing dental restorations and different prostheses more predictably and in more controlled manner. So the capturing is the first attribute of digital dentistry. You should know it, and it's backed by, or I would say, the most important of these ones is the intraoral scanners, which if you have it, you can virtualize the most procedure. We do it is the restorations, fillings, restoration, diagnostic, treatment planning, orthodontic treatments, and so many things you can do it with the intraoral scanners. And the market of intraoral scanners is so big and so diverse now, that's very difficult how to choose the best intraoral scanner. You will always ask the speakers, what is the best intraoral scanner? I can tell you there is no single best intraoral scanners, but there are systems which you can choose from there. You have open systems, and then you have closed system. Closed system, you have subscriptions, and I think those are a bit of burden, financial burden, but you do have free system or open system like Medit or other Chinese companies. They are doing, I think, even similar to the high-end European systems. Speed and accuracy, they are all, I think, the difference is not huge. With even the cheapest Chinese ones, the difference is not as much. It's only a few seconds, 10 to 20 seconds, and that's more than enough. And the fun thing is, my first scanner, which is Medit i500, and I tried to compare it to the Medit i900, and the comparison was fair enough in sense of accuracy and precision. It was comparable because I have my old data from 2019 still in the cloud. And that's one of the benefits of digital dentistry. You will have your data for a long time. They are indelible cloud data. That's one of the advantages that will help you a lot. And it will tell you your story. As Dr. Mariam said, you need to document your story. And that is a very valuable thing. So this is one of the capturing devices. And the second capturing device, which gives you a lot of things, the face scans. Why face scans are getting more and more important? I think now we don't need, or I would say the full mouth reconstructions becoming more and more feasible here, not only for specialists, even for general practitioners, because the amount of data being acquired are much, much easier, and processing these data with these softwares allows us to do better processing of the data instead of designing of your treatment planning, diagnosing, designing the treatment plan, how to do it. And vertical dimension of occlusion is one of the hot topics right now being discussed in digital dentistry. And I think for the past 2 years, we have been using only the face scans and digital scans and CBCTs to align everything together. And we success in reducing or I would say eliminating the use of Facebook transfer. So I don't use Facebook. I don't use physical articulators. And this thing wowed me and wowed all of my colleagues or my mentors in full mouth rehabs. So it is amazing that face scans are changing how we use or how we rehab the full mouth cases. Now, you don't need to go very fancy with the face scans, Ray Face, or Shining 3D, or other different ones. You can do it by your uh, smartphones. You can use one of these applications and you can start generating 3D STL or PLY face scans, which are more than enough to start processing the data and design your information. One of the futuristic uh, uh, capturing device is the dynamic occlusion, or the how we capture the motion of your jaw, which is the most important part of our practice, because we spend a lot of time on doing adjustments, and this technology is reducing and mitigating those adjustments to the minimum. Now, we do have so many different ways of capturing these things, starting with only intraoral scanners. Now, you will see one of the technologies is like Blender. They have that's in a research level. You have a Byte Finder, an application called the Byte Finder. It helps in generating dynamic occlusion, not only centric occlusion. Now, SDI Matrix is one of the dedicated softwares which helps in capturing different dynamic records. Now, dynamic records are not only the motions. These devices now capturing the motion, they align with the CBCT, and they capture your muscle activity as well. Not only that, now this is one of the new devices which has been given me by Dr. Edmond, he's one of the leaders in SDI Matrix. They improve your taking jaw relation by using tense devices which simulate the muscles and release the different muscles of mastications, and give you your CR or centric jaw relation in the least tension of the muscles. That's the future of dentistry, how we are going to practice. Now, these devices are fairly expensive and not accessible for everyone, but they are coming very soon. This device
Dr. Halil, you've stopped screen sharing. Can you kindly share your screen? Guys, I'm going to give like 2 minutes to Dr. Halil to get back online. I think Dr. Halil is facing some technical issues. So, thank you so much, Dr. Halil Karam, for your contribution to advance the field of dentistry. Is truly appreciated. And this was a very informative presentation on digital dentistry. We surely learned a lot and got to witness many new innovations. For now, we would move to the next presenter and speaker, Dr. Adil.
Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to all the attendees. I am Dr. Hiraisani, proudly serving as the Regional Director of SIN, General Dentist under Pride, and your host for today's virtual summit on Digital Dentistry 2025. It is both an honor and a pleasure to guide you through this impactful event where we explore the future of dentistry in the digital age. It is our distinct honor to welcome Dr. Muhammad Adil. Assalamu alaikum. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're audible, Dr.
Yeah,
Hira.
वो actually वो बार-बार mute हो रहा था. I'm really sorry. Uh,
I would request the host and the presenter, Dr. Adil, not to mute your mics, please, throughout the presentation.
So, Dr. Adil is a distinguished academic clinician and thorough leader in the field of dentistry. He is currently serving as the Associate Professor, Head of Oral Medicine and Diagnostic at Islamic Dental College, Sialkot, and brings with him a wealth of experience in both clinical practice and academic leadership. His impressive qualifications include a Bachelor's of Dental Surgery, NCPS in Oral Surgery from College of Physician and Surgeon, Pakistan, and prestigious certificates such as FICD and CMT and CME. In addition to this academic and clinical roles, Dr. Adil also contributes to the broader dental community as the clinical secretary of the Pakistan Dental Association, Sialkot, where he continues to foster innovation, collaboration, and best practice within the profession. Today, as dentistry undergoes a technological revolution, Dr. Adil will share his expertise on how digital dentistry is shaping the future of modern dental care. Over to you, Dr. Adil. Over to you, Dr. Adil.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Hira, for such a generous sort of an introduction for me. And thank you, the Forum Pride, for giving an opportunity to talk upon this important topic, or we can say a modern day topic, which is digital dentistry. I hope everyone is getting my voice.
Yes, sir, your voice is clear.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, I would try to be precise with the presentation because a lot has been already talked about the topic. So I would like to cover some core domains regarding the field of digital dentistry, and I would love to talk upon the comparison between analog and digital workflows. And we will try to evaluate some evidences with the techniques of CAD CAMs and 3D printings, and also which is artificial intelligence as well. And I would talk upon how we can implement this digitization in our modern day clinics, and very important, which is the return of investment, that we have made a clinic with such huge investment, and how we can digitize it and improvise it so we can get better returns. And also we try to anticipate what are the emerging trends in digitization of this field of dentistry. Okay, the important point is that why it is important. Everyone is talking about that we have to digitize the field of dentistry, that why it is important. So number one, that is the expectations of the patients. Whenever we have a patient at our clinics or in a hospital setting, he always want that his or her treatment should be very much convenient. So this digitization, right from the entry of the patient to the exit of the patient, by using different sort of softwares or by providing different type of methodologies, this will help us better make the patient to fulfill his or her expectations. Plus, modern day, everybody is very much concerning about the aesthetics, and currently there are a lot of softwares that have been made which help us to provide better review to the patient before going toward the treatment by using some AI techniques as well. So this will help us to better provide provision of dental care to the patient. Plus, this digitization also help us to make our workflows very faster. For example, if we have a patient at a clinic and we start writing it down, what is your name, what is your age, it will take much more time. And plus, we cannot uh, revise the data as well. So this digitization, it helps us to improve our workflows. Plus, it will also help us to minimize the chair time. For example, if we take the formation of some impression technique rather than impression technique, if we do some intraoral scan, which it will provide better and up to the mark results rather than repeated impressions. So it improves our working capabilities. Plus, it also helps us to provide more accurate and more predictable sort of a treatment, because every patient demands that what will be the outcomes. So by using these digitalization methods, we can provide better predictability. And everyone in the session who is using these aligners, they typically knows that we provide some view to the patient that how will you look after the treatment. So this predictability, it helps us to provide better care. Similarly, it will help us to make some better data recordings. So better records can be taken by using different type of digital platforms. And also it helps us to provide some remote collaboration. For example, if I am sitting here and I want to send whole of the data of my patient to some dentist in another country, so this techniques which are inculcated in these digitalization methodologies, they will help us to deliver that data to their patient so that all the information can be provided at one hand. The cloud is basically working to help these things. Okay. So there are certain domains that we touch when we talk about this digitization. The first one is through data capturing, like scans, like CBCTs, like photographies. These are different ways by which we can record the data and we can use them in for future works. Similarly, regarding designs and plannings, your CAD CAMs, your digital smile designs, which are your DSTs, your implant planning, all of these are using different type of digital techniques. Similarly, we use milling techniques for 3D printings for the fabrications of different jigs. They're also using these modern day advancements. Similarly, artificial intelligence, which are incorporated in different type of softwares like radiological हमारे में भी बहुत सारे AI tools available है. Similarly, teledentistry typically used during the corona days, augmented reality or virtual reality, these are also the domains. Similarly, your data securities, intelligence, all of these are different ways by which we can deliver the digitization process in the field of dental sciences. Well, now, if we just compare the analog works with the digital workflows, that's how we have improved. For example, previously we take impressions, but now we take intraoral scans. Impressions can have different issues, but intraoral scans, they are much more precise, providing better margins, better soft tissue recordings, better hard tissue records. So this is one of the example. Similarly, wax ups. But now we do not do wax ups, we use CADs. Similarly, milling is a technique which has replaced your lost waxes. Similarly, clouds, they have eliminated the paper records. Previously, everyone was having a huge files in the offices, taking all the notes from the patients. But now we have some softwares where we enter all of the data and that is stored in a cloud, which can be retrieved at any point of time. So that's how we have slowly replacing the analog works with our digital works, because digital works provide better predictability, better working efficiency, and better data recordings. So this is much better. Now, how we can integrate digitalization in a clinic? Like number one, if the most important aspect is the data acquisition. Different type of software
Dr. Adil,
currently.
sorry to
Ji,
interrupt, but your slides are not changing.
slides are not changing
Yeah, they're not changing. So,
now.
no, they're not. Okay, now they are. Okay, now they are. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. Thank you. You can continue.
Okay, we take the how we can use the digital workflows in the clinic. We have different ways. Like number one, the first step is data acquisition. We all know, or some of us are also using different type of softwares, just like Instacare, just like Healthwires, just like eMedis. They are the ways by which we can betterly equip our clinics with the data acquisition from the patient. And we can not only store the data, we can utilize the data, we can retrieve that data. Better records can be kept by using these digital workflows. Similarly, we can use different type of designing apps, or we can use simulations to provide better review to the patient, that how this procedure will gonna change your smile, how this procedure will gonna end up. So by using different type of simulations, we can give good idea to our patients. We can use different type of fabrication models. We can use these digital workflows to provide better clinical delivery to the patients. We can also get some verifications from the patient as well, and proper feedbacks. For example, recently I have seen on the internet, they have made basically a check which contains a Google review card. So they have displayed on the reception desk. So just to scan it and give a review to the clinic. So these are little sort of some digitizations which can be used to provide better uh, working workflow to the clinic. Okay. Uh, I would like to give some examples as well, just like intraoral scanners. In the US, there are more than 50% of the clinics that are currently using intraoral scans, because there is a rapid adoption of these methods. Even in Pakistan, it's now getting very common that most of the clinics are purchasing the intraoral scanners, and they are replacing the older techniques of pressure taking with these modern day scans, because they are not only faster, they are comfortable and accurate as well. And we use two type of formats for that. One is STL, which is stereolithic, and then the other one is the PLY formats. In both of the formats, we can save that image and we can send to the lab, which can use CADs to make or fabricate these rounds or bridges. Even aligners, they're also utilizing these intraoral scanners. But the important thing is the training that should be given to the operator as well. And for that, we have a lot of work to be done, so that our clinical experts, they should get properly trained that how can they use intraoral scanners to get proper benefit from it. But currently, I have observed that because they are becoming a bit cheaper as well, so many of the clinics, they have started getting purchasing these intraoral scanners, and now very quickly we are starting replacing these old methods of taking impression by these intraoral scanners. Similarly, we all know about CAD cams, and these CAD cams now have very high accuracy to build these crowns and bridges, and they are not only very quick, but they are very cost effective as well, providing better care to the patient. The fit, the margins of the crowns which are made upon these CAD cams, they are much more as compared to the made by using wax up techniques. So it's better to provide better care to the patient. And now they are also readily available at different labs and provide much cheaper rates as well. Similarly, regarding especially the persons who are doing implants, we use different type of surgical guides, splints, models, and even our aligners or custom trays to provide better care to the patient as well. Especially there is regarding implantology, we just make a proper mock-up from some lab that have these digital techniques. We use CBCTs, so we use that surgical splint so that we can properly screw down the implant at the right proper site. Plus, we also can use the static and dynamic navigations. Recently, Dr. Khalil was talking all about this, that how we can use static video and dynamic video uh, as well. Similarly, digital smile designs, these are currently are very in fashion. You just give a mock-up to the patient that how you are going to be getting a better smile. You just give a review to the patient, and as the patient confirm it, you start doing your procedures, and they provide better aesthetic acceptance to the patient as well, and provide better compliance even. We are also incorporating AI in dentistry. Recently, a teeth company has launched that Nanopix. Many of the dentists are currently using it, and it has got these AI features, which shows that which part of the tooth is carious, which is root canal related, which is inflamed, which is the PDL area. So this basically is getting day by day improved, so that we can get better help helpful, especially for the remote areas. Or even I personally have used it when there was Corona days, uh, and everybody was using it. And we can provide better reviews to the patient, especially in rural areas where people are not able to reach at times. So they can just call to the doctor and get proper results. For example, Marham is one of the forum in Pakistan that is providing that. I myself is available on Marham, and many of the Pakistani persons who are living abroad, they just take an appointment, and on that app, I just communicate with them, provide taking their notes, taking their prescriptions, and giving them proper attention and proper dental care even as well. Similarly, we have improved by using these AR and VR simulations. Recently, Apple company has launched these things that you just wear a VR gear, and it just give you a proper review at how your dentist is going to do the procedure. So these are basically the ways by which we just want to provide a better care to the patients. So it basically give patient a future, that how this procedure is gonna get happen and what will be the outcomes. So this just make your patient to accept your treatment in a much better and quick way. Moreover, data integration is very important, because currently we do not are in very much fashion of taking records, but in abroad I have much seen that every case is properly recorded, and it can be even shared to the other person as well. We I myself is using one of the software from Instacare, and that is a very good software even providing all the data, and it is also encrypted as well. But even I think that our staff and even doctors, they need a proper training so that how they can use these clouds to incorporate all their patient records at one time, which not only help their patients, but also remotely you can send that patient to other colleague as well. Important thing is that if we adopt these digitizations, so this will help us to get better return of investments, because by reducing our chair time, by, by avoiding remakes, by providing better patient satisfaction, by providing better case acceptance. It basically improves the way that how you can quickly earn, because every patient coming to a clinic needs a proper care. And if you use all these techniques, giving a proper care to the patient, patient feels comfortable, patient feels that your dentist is providing all of the data. Uh, so that practically he will or she will trust you, and your number of patients will get improved day by day. So this will give you a better return of investment. But I would like if anybody starts using digitization, so just start with the intraoral scanner first. This is the cheapest and the quickest way. Yes. In the futures, if you just Google it out, you will find out that we are using real-time diagnostics as well. We are also using multimedia 3D printings. Even robotic surgeries are now in fashion. And currently, there is one robotic surgery in the US as well, and that has been very successfully conducted even. So all of these are the futuristic approaches. I love that you should inculcate different type of digitization methods in your clinic, because this digital industry is getting advanced day by day, and it will become one of the foundation on the basis of which you can earn better and you can improve your practice. And we start using scans because they are much more better as compared to your impression. Uh, and plus try to use CAD cams, and try to use those labs who are using CAD cams to provide better marginal fit and better contour to your prosthetics, and use those software, those tools which are using AI, because AI is much more helping in improving your diagnostics, and moreover work upon your clouds, and improve the cybersecurity as well, so that you can take all of your data at one time at any sort of your life. So by these little bit of ways, you can improve your clinical practices. Thank you. Any questions, please?
Thank you so much, Dr. Adil, for such an insightful session.
Thank you, Dr.
On
Hira.
your expertise truly enriched our virtual summit 2025. We were grateful to have you here. We're not doing question answers at the moment, I believe.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Hira, for all the help.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you,
I think we
Dr.
do not have. Dr. Samit, you may start with the closing remarks.
Sure, Dr. Ghazala, thank you. Thank you, our esteemed speakers, for the insightful sessions today. We are truly grateful for your time and for your expertise, for your slides, for your presentation and information that you shared with each and everyone tonight. In a few minutes' time, a feedback form will be shared in the chat box, and all the participants are requested to kindly fill them. Thank you. As we come to the close of this insightful journey through the world of digital dentistry, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for being part of this transformative event. Over the course of our sessions, we have explored groundbreaking innovations, discussed practical applications of digital tools, and shared inspiring success stories that are shaping the future of dental care. From CAD/CAM systems to AI integration and 3D printing, it is clear that digital dentistry is not just the future, it is the present. The knowledge and ideas exchanged here will undoubtedly ripple into our practices, research, and institutions, bringing more precision, efficiency, and patient-centered care. A special thank you to our esteemed speakers, audience, and organizers whose dedication made this virtual summit a success. Let this be not the end, but the beginning of collaborations, innovations, and continued learning. Together, we are redefining the standards of oral healthcare. Safe travels, and until we meet again, keep innovating. Thank you. If you have not filled the feedback form, kindly fill them out. Thank you.